Good, good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. I swear some of the crap I have to put up with before the show starts with my damn panel. I don't know what I'm going to have to do. But anyway, it's good to see y'all and have y'all out there in the chat. We have 19 people before the show even started. So that's actually fantastic. And I appreciate that so very, very much. Thank you very, very much. But looking forward to a good show tonight. We got Rob with the Gwinnett Woodworkers Association. I got a lot of people were making fun of that when I posted that on Facebook, and we'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, and he's going to show us about the canes that they make for veterans, and that's awesome and great. But before we get started, let me talk about my wonderful sponsors, and they are Devobal Technologies for web design, development, hosting. Visit devobal.com. FastCap, innovative products for the professional woodworker. Go to fastcap.com. Rockler, 60 years in woodworking. Create with confidence. Visit rockler.com. Bearwood Supply Company, your best choice for hard to find woodworking supplies. Go to bearwood.com. Klingspor, the sanding specialist. Woodworkingshop.com. Seiko, the scroll saw specialist. Seiko.com. And Scrollnado, dust collection for your scroll saw. And you can find them and purchase them off of give me a sec. Amazon. They're on Amazon. That's actually the only way. I thought they had a website, but come to find out, you have to find them on Amazon and purchase them through the Amazon. But it's Scrollnado on Amazon. The next thing I want to talk about real quick is for those of you, and Jim Bashir's even asked me, that watch me on Wednesday nights, we have moved the show from Twitch to YouTube, and I'm just going to keep it on YouTube. So we're not going back to Twitch for those who were out there. So we've moved the show on Wednesday nights, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It used to be on Twitch. Now it's Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on YouTube. And it's just scrolling and making with Russ. But I scroll sawed out this vase, and there it is. It is finished, all sanded up, and looking pretty good. I think I did a pretty good job on it.
Sweet.
That does look good.
Yep. I'm making a vase on a scroll saw. And I'll try to do
whined the whole time.
Yeah, I was whining the whole time. But he cut these dead burn flowers so small on the ends. It's like, and then some of these other ones are so, he said he made, what did he say? He made the pattern for professional scrollers or something?
Yeah.
I heard Steve Good unfollowed him or something like that.
Yeah, he said he made this patterns for professional scrollers or something like that. So insinuating if I was having problems with it, I was not a professional scroller. So.
Well, apparently.
Love you too, Katie. Anyway, and the other thing that I want to Hi Commander Vlogs and Luana Pierce. Luana, your Just Give Me Tea is in the mail on the way. I mailed it this morning. I was at the post office this morning and sent it. And since I'm talking about that, also all of you who won the drill bits, they're on their way, including Aussie Man. Guess what? I sent your bits and filled out all the forms this morning and everything. It's all on the way. And I know two people. Luana's going to say, like, she wants to help me for the shipping. No, it was a gift from me to you. So don't worry about that. But it is on the way. I have to check the tracking. I think it's I think it'll probably be there by Wednesday of next week. Aussie Man, you're in Australia, dude. I have no clue. I'd have to look at the thing as to when it's going to get there in Australia. So it may be a month. You ain't got to give me any money. She was wanting to help me on the for the shipping. Luana was, and that's what she's saying. Waiting on your to pay for the PayPal. You ain't got to give me anything. That's from me to you, and enjoy it. No, it wasn't a pain, Aussie Man, and but it's on the way. And like I said, I don't have the receipt. I forgot the receipt inside. I didn't look at what date it's going to arrive at yours. Luana should get hers with like Tuesday or Wednesday without a shadow of a doubt. So.
Hey guys, just send Russ sawdust. He loves sawdust.
Yeah, sawdust. Yeah, Commander Vlogs. I like the scroll in your background. Thank you very much. Okay, so the only other thing I want to talk about real quick before we get to introducing everybody else to the scroll he's talking about is the one I did. The segmented scroll back here is I received a box in the mail the other day. I knew I didn't order anything, and I was like, "What the heck?" So I opened it up, and in it was the box, not this, but the box that contained this. I've actually put it together, a gripper. And I'm like, and so this is the letter that I received. And he goes, "Hi, Russ. I watch your channel on YouTube and follow you on social media. I noticed on your video about your new lights and camera mount on your table saw, you weren't using a gripper. I'm sending one to keep you safe. Regards, Sean Martyr." So that just absolutely blew me away that he saw that video and realized it didn't have a gripper and sent me one. So I appreciate that so very, very much. And I have made contact with him. He gave me some more information, and he does not wish me to announce anything out on the net as far as on the show, in other words, about any information about him other than his name, Sean Martyr. And but he said he doesn't watch the live show because he has to work on Saturday nights, but he watches me either Sunday or Monday, when he's off from work. So, but yeah, he sent me this gripper. I'm like, and it's got he sent me a couple of accessories with it too. So that is really, really awesome. And I know you'll be watching this tomorrow or Monday, and Sean, all I can say is thank you so very much. I mean, when you do things like this and then you have your fans or followers or your viewers, however you want to call them, but they've become your friends actually, and they send you stuff just to say thank you for what you're doing. I mean, it just blows me away, and I would just like to once again say thank you so very much. I appreciate that. I mean, it does. It really makes me get kind of choked up about the situation, but thank you that you would think that much of me. So so let's go down the list real quick before we get to Rob, because we got a long ways to go with Rob because he's going to show us a lot tonight. And start on my right, and that is Russ Meadows. Go ahead and tell us about you and where we can find you.
Somehow I knew it'd be me. All right, Russ Meadows from Rusty Nails Wood Shop. Y'all can find me on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm sure glad to be here. Back to you, Russ.
You're so welcome, Paul.
Boy, that was a quick introduction.
No time to wait, buddy.
Paul Corliss from Paul's Messy Workshop. That's Paul's Messy Workshop on YouTube and on Instagram. And I appreciate you having me on here, Russ.
You're very welcome. And somebody said that was awful nice of him. And then Al said they send him, most people send him, yeah, most of my friends try to send me sawdust. People that love me send me actual stuff, not sawdust.
Sawdust is stuff.
Yeah.
We just sent you what you asked for.
Yeah.
You make me sick, Russ. You make me.
Go ahead, Al. Al Forte.
I'm Al Forte, and I'm sitting here printing behind me one of Paul's Messy Workshop gears. I've got a bunch of gears that I've been using as benchies instead of yeah, I know you guys are
they're knobs. They're not gears. They're
right.
Knobs.
I'm sorry, they're knobs. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. This one looks like a tool. Anyway, Al Forte, Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop, Kilroy 79763. Just I stand corrected. And they look like gears though. Look at that.
Now we know why you're having so much trouble printing.
Exactly.
You don't know the damn difference between a gear and a knob.
The knobs have no identity.
Those
That's
are
right.
6-tooth gears.
But that one did print a lot better without
That's
the
a
fan.
damn knob. Ken, get us off the knob gear thing.
I'm Ken Moon from Moonpie Creations. You can find me over on YouTube, Moonpie Creations, or on Facebook, Moonpie Creations. Thanks for having me here, Russ.
You're welcome. Katie, I know you're just here to harass the hell out of me.
Well, why else would I come here?
I love you too.
My name's Katie, and I'm on Facebook. I make mostly inappropriate comments there, and harass Russ, as he said, and see if I can disrupt and create havoc in the room.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Jim Bashirs.
Hey, Jim Bashirs from Driveway Workshop, and just recovering from back surgery here and playing around on the 3D printer. And I'm trying to get this the laser cutter that I got going, but I can't pick up much yet. So I've been doing stupid things like printing out octopuses, stuff like that.
Well, show that
Actually,
back up. I saw that today, and I was thinking, like, I want to try to print one of them. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Actually, Matt Haas has one back there hot on the printer right now. Excuse the mess, but
Is that one of his
Hey,
triangles?
whoa. Now,
what?
you're sending Matt Haas one, and you're not going to send me one?
You didn't tell me what color you want. I got hold on.
Is that on
I got
Thingiverse, Jim?
yellow, white, orange, black, blue, green, pink.
my God.
Don't judge me on the
Blue.
pink or light blue. Blue.
blue.
Okay.
Well, I want a pink one.
Anybody want any on?
Hang on. I got to write this down because between being over 60, Percocets, and just having Alzheimer's. I'll forget. So blue for Russ and pink for Brenda.
All
Is
right.
that on Thingiverse?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's on Thingiverse.
Anybody else?
I'll try to print my blue one after I print these knobs.
All right.
All right, we're going to move on down
Okay,
to
all right. See ya.
Dixon. Go ahead.
Hey, Russ. It's Dixon Hoffman at Hoffman Signs and Decals, and I'm not a knob. You'll see me sometimes on Facebook.
All right, cool. And then Brenda.
Thanks, Russ. This is Brenda G. Brenda G's Designs. You'll find me over on Facebook and on YouTube at Brenda G's Designs. I'm on Twitter. I'm an eclectic crafter. I do all kinds of crafts. Sometimes I do woodworking. I do comedy. Come over to my channel and be amused.
Great. Commander Vlog says, I'm out. I have to step out. I'll try to come back before the stream ends. Great to have you here, Commander Vlogs. And we have Paul John's Life out in the chat. We have Steve Carmichael, Awesome Wood Things, Matt Haas, Dave Roby, Liberty Woodworking, Dennis Godson, Anna B. Workshop, Jim Dockrell. Wow, just the list goes on and on and on. Alan Carter. I know we had Aussie Man. We had Jimbo out there earlier. I saw him. Wizard Woodworks. Luana. Pierce is out there. Jimbo is out there. All y'all are out there. And the Ken McCrory, he's out there also. So good to see Ken. So let me scroll down here to the bottom. Well, let's get over here to, let me explain. Rob Austin is with the Gwinnett Woodworkers. He's a good friend of mine. The last 2 or 3 years, I usually go up to, when I go to the Atlanta Woodworking Show, I usually go to his house and stay for at least one day. I think I'm going to extend it next year and go a couple days so we can have some more time together in his shop. But anyway, and they have a thing going that is pretty doggone cool and interesting. And what they do is they make walking canes for veterans. And in these walking canes, and they'll actually show you tonight, is actually if you were a member of the Air Force or the Navy, your emblem is actually in the built into the walking cane. And these are given away to veterans free of charge. And they've literally been doing this, I know, for a couple of years, and probably maybe a little bit more, maybe 3 or 4 years. But I know that last year they did it, and this year they're doing it, and I think the year before. And so this is totally off of donations. So I'm going to click on to Rob. And Rob, you can unmute yourself. And it's Canes for Heroes. Yeah, we can barely hear you.
Well, wait till we start working.
The camera's over on the other side of the room from me.
Right.
Yeah, so. Well, point the camera.
Look at the banner. I would just like to point out, look at the great banner they made for me when I was at the woodworking show. That thing is so awesome. So, but there you have it. Look at the cane. There he is.
Let's try and shook it. This is teamwork.
Yep. You got a guy holding the camera and a guy
messing up this bit.
So, Rob, how many years have y'all been doing this?
A little more than 3.
A little more than 3. Okay.
And we've given the VA a little bit more than right around 480 canes so far.
480 canes. That's awesome.
And we also give it out to a vet. So if we see somebody that was a veteran that's walking around with one of these aluminum canes they have, that's what the VA gives them. We verify if they are a vet, and then we'll exchange it. Not exchange it. We don't want their cane, but we will give them a cane. And you know, they mainly get it through VA, not through us. We give it to somebody that's a volunteer down there. She goes out there, asks how many they need at the time, what their backlog is, and then she'll take a trunk load of canes over there, give them whatever they need for it. She ties a little ribbon around it, and we put a patch on it for the services, and then put the stopper on the bottom. And then turn it over to her, and she gives them out to her.
That is so awesome. And you do take donations, correct?
Yes, we have a GoFundMe site now. Actually,
Okay.
I'm not sure if you can see how clear you can get that.
There you go. GoFundMe.com Canes for Heroes Fund. There you go.
Yeah.
People, I want to tell you, if there is not anything any greater than I can think of, that if y'all wanted to have a few extra bucks and to send it that way to GoFundMe.com Canes for Heroes. I mean, these guys are taking the Gwinnett woodworkers, and these guys are taking not only their time, but out of their own pockets to make all of these canes for these heroes. So, and this is, yeah, kind of lock in on the cane itself, and let's go up and down it. So that is what the cane actually looks like. Isn't that awesome?
They don't all come in the pretty box.
Yeah, they don't come in the pretty box, but they're for the Air Force, the Navy, the Army, the Marines.
We actually have some patches for Coast Guard too. So
For Coast Guard also. Okay, great. That
The URL is in the chat for the GoFundMe, by the way.
okay. Thank you very much, Al. I appreciate that. Al's always on top of things. I appreciate you so very much, Al. But yeah, there's the GoFundMe link is out there. Al posted it in the chat for those of you who were want to donate. And I really, all sincerity, I would ask you to please go there and give them a little bit. Anything you have, $5, $10, heck, $100.
Lumber.
Yeah, whatever.
a load of lumber.
A load of lumber. Yes, even if you have are near and have lumber that you would like to donate. Now, what kind of lumber it really works out? Before we go into this, if somebody says, "Yeah, I got lumber," what kind of wood really makes good canes, though?
Mainly the hardwoods: oak, pecan, cherry, walnut, mahogany. You know, the worst kind was pine. We did one batch of pine, which we had 100 and something canes, and they with the grain it looked good, but it was like half the weight. I was leery of it. We haven't had anybody break them or anything. Yeah, we tried to get it about an inch to an inch and an eighth before we start, and that way it can be nice heavy wood. So even if it is pine, it's going to be all right.
Right. Well, I would imagine if you got some good old yellow pine, that would probably hold up.
Yes, we had some that was like a blue and yellow, and it was beautiful on one of the batches we did.
Yeah.
It just depends on what we get.
Yeah, we also have to watch out for spalted maple.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's kind of weak.
Yeah. Well, we've had some that looked fantastic, and we were not able to get much out of it. You know, some of it was an ambrosia maple.
Ambrosia, yeah.
Ambrosia maple was gorgeous, but it had so many bad spots on it that, you know, out of a pretty good length of boards, we were only able to get maybe, 5 or 10 canes out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to turn it all over to you, and if you want to just walk us through the process, go for it.
Can I ask a question real quick before we get started? Hey, Rob, do the canes just go around the Atlanta area, or do they get sent all over the country, or how's
We're
that?
sending them to the Atlanta VA, Now we have had people that request them. Well, there was somebody request about a week and a half ago for Texas, and I'll be glad to send you a cane. You don't have to send anything, but we can't afford to ship it. And the guy said, "Well, I'll just give you $50. You ship it to me." Great. So we did send them. Our biggest thing is the expenses are all on us right now. So
Right.
I went over to one of these packaging stores. And they said to package it and ship it, it's going to be about $30-something. It's not that heavy, but it's 36 inches long for the cane,
Right.
and about 6 or 7 inches wide.
It's the actual size that costs you.
Right. So
Yeah.
Maybe a group in Texas can pick this up.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I have the plans that
Or Florida.
we took pictures of our diagrams, our plans that we did, and the layout stencils, and we put them on a grid. So a few people have called and asked about them, and I have sent them the picture itself so they can look at it, they can see the exact size, and then they just cut it out from there. So anyway, it's all available. But we're going to start, and we'll try and be able to hear you at the same time. So maybe from that, we'll try and answer your questions. All I can do is read the questions and ask it, and we'll try to fill it out.
Totally.
All right, we're going to start.
The first thing
Go ahead.
First thing we do when we get a hold of some wood is we run it through a plane and get it to the right dimension, thickness that we want. Then we have a pattern. We figure out if we can get 2 out of a board on the width, that's great. On this particular one I'm on right now, I can only get 1 because of the knots that are in here. Show you how we trace it out.
I kind of see what I'm looking at,
This not enlarge this so it's just so we can see the full speed of just us instead of you right now.
I don't think we heard you. Russ,
Do what now?
can we go full screen on us so we can?
All we're seeing is a little corner there, and we're trying to see the screen to put it on there. Can you enlarge the picture so we can see it bigger on the screen?
We can see pretty much everything.
It's full screen here.
Yeah, it's full screen.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we'd like it.
All I see is what I'm sitting in the little corner piece.
Oh, I think if you click down to the bottom right corner of your window, it'll full screen it for you.
Okay.
Do you want to get rid of the panel?
No, that's perfect.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're full screen. I can see that full cane, full size in his hands right now.
We're good.
It goes from here over to the large bandsaw. Walt's already got one over there, cutting it out. It'll go from there to a smaller bandsaw.
Just out of curiosity, what's the width of that board? And
About 10 inches.
about 10 inches. Okay, yeah.
But
Okay.
notice, when we lay it out, we're looking
Right,
at stuff like that knot, that knot.
This
right.
one,
You have to go around the knots.
Right.
this one we could get 2
Now we got
out.
another board over here that we'll probably be able to get 2 out.
2 out of. Yeah.
That one we can get 2 out of.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
And
I understand each board is different as the amount you can get out of it. I mean,
Right. And you got to look at both sides too. 'Cause sometimes-
yes, because the knot can make an angle and go out the back side at a different angle. So you might be cutting half of the knot and you didn't even realize it. So,
yeah, we have to watch out for that.
yep. All right, Rob, you just froze up. I don't know if somebody stumbled over their cord. Let me see if I can call him and let him know.
We have a VA hospital in Northwest Indiana here by the house. That'd be a kind of a neat thing to do for them.
All right, no problem. Yeah, somebody stepped on the cord and pulled it out. So they're trying to remake a connection. So I kind of figured that was what would happen. So we'll give them a few minutes. Hey, guys, I'm serious. You know, I don't ask a lot for those of you out here who watch my show and also in the chat very often, but this is a very worthy cause. And these guys themselves actually foot the bill for all this, the Gwinnett woodworkers, and then the guys that are helping build them chip in money to help keep this thing going. So if, you know, if you can offer them a few bucks, I know I would appreciate it. It's for a very worthy cause, the veterans, and we got them back now. So let's go on. So go ahead.
One thing, Russ.
Well, I said
Could
we
you post that GoFundMe link in the show description later on?
Yes, I'll put it in the show description.
Thank you.
After we post the show. So
yes,
we're waiting for them to come back up and come online.
And it's also on the inside right now, Katie, too. So
yes,
I'll post it back outside also.
If you want to, every once in a while, Al, if you don't mind, I would just post it. You know, like let's say every 10 or 15 minutes, just pop it in there. Just
you bet. I got a time. Thank you.
Hey, Russ, while they're trying to get back on again, James Parker posted up here that his they found out his granddaughter's cancer's in all of her major organs, and they only give her 3 or 4 months.
Bless her heart. Yeah. Man. Thoughts and prayers for his granddaughter. I mean, that just I can't even imagine what what him and his family is going through. His granddaughter has cancer, and it is spread pretty. She had stage 4. They already knew, but so bless her heart. My thoughts and prayers go out to you. Are we back? Yep, we're back.
Hey,
we can see you. Okay.
Okay. Once we get the pattern onto the wood, we try to take it to the bandsaw. We got about, I think, a 1/2-inch blade on this bandsaw. So we're just doing basically the straight cuts because it's fast. So the first thing I do is I cut a couple, points where at the sharp curves, because I'm not going to make those curves with this bandsaw, so that I cut those pieces off.
I wish my scroll saw would go that fast sometimes.
I use the scroll saw to cut a lot of stuff like that, but probably wouldn't use it for that. I would use the bandsaw. I understand totally.
Yeah.
It's much finer and
Yeah, we're not trying to do a very exact cut. We're going to take this to a router with a pattern later on, so we just want to get it close. Then we take it over to the.
Watch that cord. Watch that cord. It came out of the computer, so.
Yeah, take this over.
Take it over to the fine bandsaw and then do the final cut. Oh. Okay, let's change the blade.
All right, cameraman, we don't want to see the floor.
You can do it, Walt.
I don't think he actually can see the computer to tell where he's aiming at. So you have to understand.
I'm more impressed that he took it over to the fine bandsaw.
Yeah.
Like he's got a bandsaw for every occasion.
Actually, he has like several of those. He has several of everything in that shop. Trust me, I've been in his shop. I'm in awe of that shop.
Yeah, me too, and I'm just sitting here watching it. But he is ex-Air Force, so you know how us Air Force guys are.
But yeah, for those of you who don't understand, the guy that's holding the camera cannot see the computer screen, so he really can't tell where he's aiming. So
he's doing a good job.
Yeah, he's not bad at all. Trust me.
I'm going to leave you for a minute, okay? We could talk about layout or something for a minute. This is behind the times. What we're dealing with is a dull bandsaw blade. Of all the things we didn't do today.
That's okay.
We had smell-o-vision. You could smell the burning wood.
Hey, we have a thing that we say here. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen bad live.
So you can see where we got two laid out on this board now.
Yes.
That's going to be beautiful canes there.
This is chestnut oak, I believe.
Wow, that's nice looking wood.
They split it right through here with the bandsaw and then rough saw it out.
Right. That's awesome.
We can hook that one up, run to the router next.
Yeah, I'm going to nail this to it and go to the router. Okay. So you can talk to him for a while.
Okay. Sorry about this camera work, but it's a camera that's supposed to set on my laptop, so we're not going to get a lot out of not too accurate.
It's doing good.
It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad.
I cannot hear you with all the noise going on here, but we will. What we're doing is just separating the board.
It's terrible. We're just jousting.
I have a question for them when they can hear me. So
yeah, just save it because he already said he can't hear you.
Right. That's why I'm saying it. So
yeah.
And actually, to probably fill in for the noise. Dead air.
I mean, this is pretty awesome, though. I've been up there in his shop, and yes, he has 2 or 3. He has like 3 lathes, 3 of this, 3 of that. I mean, he has a ton of tools. Look at all those are lathe tools behind, right there in the picture behind or standing beside him. That's just one of his lathes, and that's a Powermatic lathe.
Okay.
That's what our problem was on the small bandsaw.
The blade was very dull.
Yeah.
We don't have a laser cutter in here.
Actually, I don't think a laser cutter would cut that thing.
And it's very worse.
Okay, what we do next is we're going to trim the edges to fit this pattern. I'll get here in a minute. So this is just some 3/8 ply. I don't put that many nails in. 4 or 5 is usually enough.
Pin nails.
And these are pin nails, 3/4 inch pin nails. See if they're counting.
I wonder if they fill them in afterwards, after they pull them back out.
Actually, I think by the time they get through sanding and everything, yeah, you'll never see
sand it over and off.
Yeah, you'll never see those pin nail holes.
Yeah, he said they were 3/4 inches, so that's
no 3/4 inch long.
Yes, and he's using 3/8 ply, so then
right. So they're not going in very thick.
Exactly.
You'll see.
All right, we're going to take it out there. We're going to use a pattern cutting bit, which we already have set up to go over this. So this part's going to be a little bit loud. Not too bad. It's not a really noisy bit.
First, I have to make sure my bearing is in the right place.
Hey, Rob, why do you have 3 dowels like that on the pattern?
To hold it, hold it, get a grip on it. Watch.
Hold it while you're okay.
Yeah, to get a hold of it.
Oh, yeah, all right, I got it.
Yeah, we've done it in the past just using like the grippers and stuff, which does all right. But we the guy with his fingers near there did get his fingers in that bit one time. Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't pretty.
Yeah, that's when we decided we needed something like this. And we have these.
Yeah, it's just
Some
to
woods
guide it
are,
through.
Some wood is easier than others.
I can't see the screen, so.
The oak gets a little drabby sometimes. Sometimes you're going to hit bad. I had a brain fart.
Really hard spot.
Bad grain area.
Yeah. Hard grain.
But we don't think it's going to happen tonight.
And then you'll go through some soft graining. It'll be so cool and easy.
I never start right here on the end either. I always come in a little bit. But that's where it'll grab.
So out of all those woods they mentioned at the beginning,
Wait for the last of this one over so we can hear you, Jim. While that's going, I would just like to say TJ Woodworking is in the house. Michelle Marcoux is out there. Liberty Woodworking is still with us. Good to have you guys out there watching in the chat. Yeah, see, that's one of the places he was talking about. Notice that place that slipped off? I've had that same thing happen to me. Here's the bejesus side of it.
Okay, that takes care of most of the noisy part for now.
Yep.
No, you can see it.
No, we're on the big screen.
On the big screen.
Well,
Okay. Do you have
what
your?
happened to my tools? Here we go.
Hey, Rob, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Jim has a question. Ask it, Jim.
Oh yeah, Rob. Out of all the wood that you mentioned that you guys get down there earlier, what do you think's the best one to make the canes out of?
I like the oak better than anything. I love the weight of it. You know, if I'm holding something like a cane, you know, I'd rather have a thicker one. It feels more solid. But the prettiest ones are the ambrosia maple and the cherry.
And the walnut.
Walnut, they all look fantastic. Oh, we're going to bring a couple over here as examples. This is our cane storage area, along with about 3 of the barrels that they're standing in around here. Okay.
It's an oak. These are the ones you worry about a little bit. They look good, but
it's a nice solid wood, and it has some weight to it. But I like the, you know, the spalted look and stuff better than some of the other ones.
I bet that looked really good with some nice stain on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty one.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was a popular one. What we're doing on a lot of these, we are taking a stain to put on all of these. We put a stain on them, we let it dry, and then we spray it with sanding sealer, and then we sand that a little bit, and then we put the regular lacquer on. Yeah. This is the one that's got everything done on it.
Wow.
Let me put it over here. But the ones like that have more character, just, you know, what I like the best.
That's beautiful.
It is. I love it.
Here, this, the panes with the finish on them, this has got a bevel route on it.
Yeah, some of them we put a bevel cut on it,
And this is a round.
and then we have some that are round.
I like the round over better.
Yeah, so we kind of make a little bit of half and half, you know, because different people like different things. Now,
Yeah,
when you look at it, you see that circle, that's where we mortised a 3-inch mortise, about an 1/8 inch deep, that we put the patch in for the military patches.
Yes, yes.
And then the hook on here, you know, just to explain the design, the hook on there is just to hang on the back of a chair. You know, when you go in a restaurant, I've seen so many people that have the metal canes, and they leave the metal cane leaning up against the table, and you hear them dropping different times when they do it. So it's a whole lot better to have that on there. And the best thing is, what's the best thing about this?
They do have that rifle.
Yeah, that's it. That's the best thing about a gun for the military.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Let me show you one of the planes. We were doing a whirligig contest last year, and I'm not sure if I am make sure I got this on there good.
Oh, no way. Look at that.
It is the oddest thing trying to hold this mic and put it on there.
You haven't entered my Whirligig Wars contest, right? You haven't ever entered that.
Yeah, well, that takes too much skill. See, we're regular simple woodworkers here.
Oh, come on now.
I love the Mustang art on the end of it. That's great.
I know. Wasn't that cool?
You know, the guy that made that, he didn't show it to us ahead of time. And we have a social picnic in the yard here once a year. And that was part of what we did, was we had the whirligigs out there. And it just turned out perfect. I had no idea who he was making to come out with that. I hadn't even thought of that. And we can still use it as a cane because they're all popped onto there. You can pop it off and use it, but it's been up there for like 2 years.
This is all it takes to get the pattern off.
Right.
Spatula thing. Get it started. Pops right off.
Now, you were asking about the pin nails.
Here's the important thing. Them little babies hurt. So, hair pliers, grab a hold of it, just kind of roll out.
Yeah. Pull them right out.
James Parker wanted to know, what size wood do you start with on those?
We try to start, we plane it down to about 1 1/8. We've had some of them that were a little less than 1 inch, but 1 1/8 ends up a really substantial, good feel to it. Okay. So.
Now you see where we didn't go all the way in. This will get cut off. You end up with, in this end, will get cut off a little bit.
Yeah. Starting on the ends, we grab it on the router and taking off chunks and just splitting them.
Right.
So we're putting it on different areas. And then our next step, we're gonna cut a little bit off of that one. We've always got them too long.
Your average cane ends up about 3 feet long.
36 inches. That one's not been done
This
yet.
one's for a tall veteran.
No, we haven't cut that one yet.
Yeah, you got to have those tall ones, so when I can't walk anymore, I can get one from there.
Yeah, now we're using the round over a bit.
How tall are you, Jim?
6'4".
Yeah, 6'4". Sometimes when I stand next to Jim, I think he can hold his arm out like sideways like this, and I could go right underneath it.
Put my arm on your head.
Hey, one dog bit.
This is why we have to go fund me. Go.
Okay. Anyway, from the point that that's at, we've rounded over some, but we have to blend it in. So we'll have a crew that'll sit there and smooth all the edges together from the edge of the bit.
Hey, Rob,
Yeah.
guy out in the chat wants to know what radius is the round over that you use?
3/4.
3/4?
Yes.
And I have a question from one of the audience members.
Okay.
She would like to know if you also make canes for the female veterans.
Yes.
We give them to the VA at 36 inches, and then we can take them from there. They can cut them down to different sizes, but we do have some of the lighter weight canes for the people that don't want the heavy oak. And if they prefer, we give them the ones that are made out of pines and stuff so they don't have to carry such a heavy one around. We don't know ahead of time who they're going to be for. And usually when we give them, they come over and pick them up. We're giving them about 40 to 50 at a time so they can pick and choose from there whatever size they want.
Well, it's a lot.
Okay.
I know, isn't that's just amazing that they are able to make that many canes. Now,
hold on. Go ahead.
What's your next step? Go ahead.
Well, on this one, the router wasn't quite set up right, so we got a ridge where the roundover was. So I'm going to run it through the planer real quick, get rid of that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go get noisy.
Is dust collection open?
How about the gate?
No, the gate open.
Oh,
If it's not, you'll know real quick when it starts spitting stuff out through the.
Yeah, it doesn't kick back much. It's pretty clean.
I want one of those in my shop.
I want that drum sander you got last year from Woodcraft.
Oh, that's
wherever it
1632.
was.
Yeah, that's a sweet baby. Oh yeah, that takes it right on down.
That does a great job. And we'll have people that'll sand it by hand, and we get it all off, and then we have a part on there where we put the patch on. You want to go ahead and
we're ready. This is our little jig for figuring out where the patch goes, and it helps you just center it. You want that punch thing? Yeah.
That's what I was wondering how you did that.
Well, we changed the design about a year or more ago because we didn't have as big of a circle on there. So we're going to put a punch in there so we get it set. So
Now, I remember you telling me about that and that you changed the design, but I never saw this part how you did the hole, so I'm curious.
This circle is bigger than the patch. It just kind of helps you center it.
Exactly. I got what you're saying.
And then you go, boom.
Yeah.
Then you got a picture of this when it's a cane day Tuesday and there's 10 guys in here. Everybody's got a job. So then we go to the drill press. Now we had this discussion too. We had this discussion where is the guy going to be right-handed or left-handed? So we're kind of doing a 50-50 thing right now.
This is the other way? Okay.
Now, what size of a bit is that? That's going to be like a 3-inch bit?
It's a 3-inch Forster bit, except for some of the Army, because they're a little odd, and theirs was 3 1/8.
Okay, that's a big bit.
All right, I got to ask, why was the Army bigger?
What was that?
I said, I got to ask, why was the Army bigger?
All the ones that we've ordered up to now, they're exactly the same. The last batch, for some reason, the Army patch came as 1 1/8, or 3 1/8, and it didn't fit in the hole, so we had to get a bigger Forster bit to enlarge these, which is trying to hold it and enlarge it. That little bit was hard to do.
Yeah, that's a big a 3-inch Forstner bit is huge. I don't have one. The biggest Forstner bit I have is like 2 3/8. That's a big Forstner bit.
Never go far.
We had a stop block set, and he's kind of.
I bet you that damn Forstner bit cost you like $60-80.
You know what? I honestly can't remember how much it was.
That big of a one, if it's a good brand, it probably was $60-80.
Was it so expensive you just blocked it out of your memory, or?
Yeah, no shit.
I think I'd do that.
That's why you have a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, we have not taken a penny out of the GoFundMe site. We're trying to let it build up enough, because if we don't get a donation of wood for there, then we're going to have to buy the wood too. So far, we've had to just do the supplies, the tools, replenishing different stuff like that. So it hasn't been as expensive.
No.
We'll go through part of the process. We have the domino set.
We got all night. It depends on how long you guys want to stand there and hold the camera.
Yeah,
it don't matter to me.
I'm the human tripod, because we don't have nothing to do on this thing except for.
No, I'm just saying, whatever you go for it. Whatever you want to do, we're standing here watching. I'm going to be here until midnight.
Go ahead, cut it, and we'll do that. Okay, we are going to. Yeah, I'm watching for. We're going to cut it so we have less play here, and then we'll put a domino in, because that's how we're attaching the handles. All right?
To the left. Left. The other way. There. Down a little. That thing's weird. There we go. That ain't like the question. A little more.
I got the chance to use that saw when I was in Atlanta. That is a very nice saw, that Makita.
It winds down like a cast iron,
No, that's the dust collection. When he pulls.
Oh, is that what it is? Turning off. Oh, okay.
Yep. The dust. When you pull the trigger, the dust collection comes on. When you let it go, it goes off. So it takes a few seconds here.
It sounded like a turbine.
You know how to use it.
Yeah, we're just gonna.
I think Brenda. Maybe I shouldn't say that, huh, Brenda?
Well, I can do it.
Well, why?
Okay. We normally measure these, make sure it's right, and I don't want to do that, but we're going to put it on with a domino is how we attach it.
Hey, measure it. Don't screw up the cane. We got all night. Measure it.
No, we're going to show you on this cane that's already done.
Okay, well, this is the domino itself where we're putting it at.
Okay.
Okay.
And there's a domino.
And that was the domino that goes in there. I'm going to do it on a different block of wood so we can see where it's at and then go from there. I need to test out. In fact, if you hold this, let me adjust it and go through all the process.
There was a time when we get that. Can you guys see that? There was a time when we had a U-shaped handle, kind of like a yoke, but we had to put 2 mortises in it. It was just too time consuming. Do we have one of those? Yeah, right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
That was labor intensive there.
Yeah. That would be way overboard.
And then at one time it had this hole down there, but we decided that was kind of ugly. The idea was to help a guy get out of a chair, but then when you actually sit in a chair and you don't really need that. You can just grab the top of the cane. So we redesigned to something that we could mass produce easily.
Okay, I need a pencil.
Yeah, here's a pen. Yeah. Ruler right here.
I got one. We're just showing this part on a piece of wood instead of on the thing for now, and I can come back to that. But you draw a line, so we would be drawing a line right on the center of this part where we're putting it at, going straight up here at an angle. And you can do different angles the way you want to do it, but you want to go as straight as you can in here. So I've got this line here. I've got the Festo domino hooked up, and I'm going to dig into there. And I want to see, this is actually a test to see if I'm in the right spot in order to put it on the cane. So you have a part that you line up on here. I don't think we could narrow down with that one. Let me turn this over. I'm not sure if anybody's looked at how a domino works.
So it's like a drill bit that's in crooked.
It vibrates back and forth.
Okay. You can see where that's at right there. So if we can measure the distance on there, if it's about the same there, we could actually just put it in the cane.
Right.
Which cane do we have here?
This one right here. This one?
No, that one's done.
Oh, that one's done.
Notice our special little jigs here.
I like that. That's cool.
That way you clamp it to the table and then one against the end of it. We need to clamp those.
No, that's cool.
Oh, somebody hold it.
Okay.
So we're in there. We don't have a line on this one yet.
Oh, okay.
I gotta get it right about in the center of this. I honestly can't see though.
At the center, that looks off to the.
It is.
It offsets.
You want to,
I'll just get right in that area.
Don't pull my camera cord. All right, wait a minute.
I can't remember how many times I've tripped over my cords and had to reset the cameras.
I think so.
Not close.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
look what
we are
Ron
not
did.
close.
Holy crap. What did you do wrong?
Well, trying to measure it here, I needed to be way over farther here. we will cut the end of this.
Pretend that, put that other cane up here. Pretend that's the real one you did. What happened to it?
They all went away.
Oh,
I guess that one's going to be a shorter person's.
look what a nice job Russ did.
Yeah. Look how good we did with that. Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
awesome.
That's really, really good.
Yes.
Okay.
Precision.
Okay, this is the tenon that goes inside. You know, it's a regular mortise and tenon when you talk about the dominoes. We take it, we put the glue on here, tap it in, and then we have a handle that we'll put on there. We're going to hold off to that. We're going to show you how we did the handles next.
Okay.
And we'll try and make that other one survive. You want to bring it? Hey, let's go ahead and bring it over here. Okay.
Trust me, I think most of the reason the panel's quiet is because we're all just watching. It's like they're all taking it all in. This is really, really awesome.
Okay, for the canes, we start with a piece of wood, 1.5 to 1 3/4 in thickness. Rip it down so that it's about 1.5 by 1 3/4 in rectangle on the end. We cut them to, then we cut them to about 7 inches long, and that gives us our blank for our cane. We got a pattern, similar process as we did for the cane itself. Mark the pattern on here.
Good, Jordan. It's all right.
Now this one, I need a, where's the?
I put the felt pen back in the drawer. I put it away.
All right, well, this blank happens to be just a little bit small, but it would work. Because the canes, you know, these handles, they don't have to be exact. They just have to be close. Oops, I missed one spot.
Miter Mike will answer your question in just a second.
We can hear you. What do you want to ask?
Oh, Miter Mike was just asking, are these canes just for the VA in Georgia, or do they go over the U.S.? And the answer is they mainly give them away in Georgia, yes, to the Georgia VA, and they distribute them, but they will send them at other places. The problem is, as Rob said before, is the shipping. This is coming out of the Gwinnett Woodworkers pockets. So therefore, they can't afford to ship them all over the U.S. But if somebody wants one, they'd be more happy to give it to them if they could pay for the shipping.
What if somebody wanted 2 templates to be able to make those? What would they need to get that?
All I need is an email address. We put a grid on the ground one time, put the different cane shapes on there. And then I took pictures from up above, and then I saved them as just regular files. And we put them there, open them up. There's perfect shape of what the thing is, the shape of the handles, all the different parts. What is it for?
Glenn, see if I put it in that little drill box somewhere. Felt pen.
No, we don't need it. We don't need it for this. We don't need to go.
Yeah, Ken. So basically, they're saying that they can get you the template. That's no problem.
Okay. What if I wanted one of the already cut templates, or 2 of them, so I can start making those over here in South Carolina?
Well, you drag your butt over here one weekend just to visit me, and we will make a copy of it for you.
Yeah.
You can take
All right. That sounds good. I like
We
that.
take the template we already have, and we put it on a piece of plywood, and we do the same thing we did with the cane.
the same thing as we did with the cane.
I love templates. Templates are the way to do stuff.
Hey.
Templates and jigs. Yes.
Yeah, hey, Ken, if you sweet talk Rob, you can even spend the night at his house, but you got to put up with all the animals.
Yeah, and you have to give them a back rub.
I can do that. I got a lot here too. You know that.
Yeah. Oh, and Rob likes a back rub just before he goes to bed.
Back rub's a little
Well,
creepy.
hell, we're real compatible because I love giving dudes back rub. Well,
Okay, that's what you do in the Summer Company.
Yeah, we like the 2 beasts out tonight.
Once I get control of
Make sure we can hear you guys.
Hey, Rob, Dennis Goodson's got a question that I was kind of wondering about too. Do you cut the handles separate and put them on for the grain direction, so you got more strength and you don't have to worry about them cracking and stuff?
We've had some. The guy that actually started this was from South Carolina, and he did it. He was making it by himself, and he had used saber saws. He didn't have all the tools and everything. I'm walking across the room here, but he didn't have any real power tools, but he did them all.
Hold the camera tight.
Okay. He was doing them in his garage, and he'd only get like 5 a week, but he did a great job with it. But we talked her into, his daughter, into us helping her out, and that's where we got involved. But it was a manual process for him, and it just took forever.
He had given a.
But now he's talking about why do you make them that way for the grain direction so the handle?
I'm sorry. By the time I walked over here, I forgot what day it was. Anyway, what we do it from that, because he's made some where he took a bigger piece of board and he made a complete curve with a handle. But when you do that, the top is just nothing but side grain, and it's only about 3/4 of an inch thick up there.
Right.
So I think that's Dennis and I's question was to doing it that way for strength.
Exactly. That's exactly why they're doing it.
Right. It takes a lot away from it. I looked at the ones he did. He did the one flat board, and then he added a piece on the outside, alongside it to give it a little strength. But we decided not to make them that way. I didn't think they were strong enough.
Yeah, the basic grain direction of the cane is horizontal, and they're putting the handle at vertical, so
yeah,
it strengthens it up.
The other way around.
Okay.
Okay, and then once we get the thing, Mark, take it to the bandsaw, cut it out, stay with the line. We get the basic pattern. Then we take it into the domino machine and put the tunnel miter in there as well.
Cool.
Once that's done, take it over to the
roundover.
the roundover bit on the router to give us this, which is, and you can see it's got kind of some sharp corners and it's kind of rough. We'll take it then to, let's take it over to the sanders. Take this one.
Got one of these cushion sanders.
Well, actually, I want to take it over here to this one first, what I like. Don't have it out here very well, but the rigid oscillating belt sander, and what I like to do with this one, just leave it be, this one, is take it in there and take out all the vertical or the cross grain saw marks on this piece first. So that gets it kind of, again, it's a rough sanding to get it shaped. Then we'll take it over to the drum sander and really start working it.
Now that's a damn drum sander right there, baby.
That thing's a beast, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah.
I need one of those now.
Yeah.
You can see, without too much work, you get that nice and smooth. And you want to get it as rounded, so you want to get a comfortable fit for the person's hand. There's one over
Yeah, it's only like a 30 grit sandpaper.
That's about a 120, I believe.
Yeah, right.
We had a finished handle.
It already?
Finished handle. Another one. Then we end up with a product that looks like this. That we can then, I don't know which way. Does it go this way or the other?
Yes, that way.
And then we go. I'm not going to put it on there because it takes a while to get it off.
We can get off. Don't worry about it.
It's a little longer. We have to shorten that down a little bit.
Yeah. So we would shorten a tenon on it. You can see the gap in there. Or
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I can.
We would shorten a tenon, put it on there, and then do we have a clamp set in there?
I can get one.
Okay. You kind of have to fit each one too there to make sure that you're right where you want it. So the tenon is a little long. I can
cut the end, put it on there, glue it all up, and then we put a clamp to clamp it together. It's on the backside.
Aussie Man was asking, could somebody make this with a CNC quicker or easier? Or do they have to be handmade? Well, let's put it this way, Aussie Man. They're dealing with 1.25 1.5 thick piece of wood, and the cane itself, just the body of it's 36 inches. So unless you have one hell of a CNC, that would almost be I don't know of any hobbyist CNC. That's going to be almost like an industrial CNC. You're not going to cut these out that easy.
No.
You could. It's not worth it because each batch we do has been somewhere like 125, 140. I wouldn't want to. It wouldn't be worth it. You'd be tearing up too many bits and everything else with it.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's just. I mean, well, like I said, for number one, it'd have to be almost an industrial to go through 1.25 inches to make that many passes. It'd have to be almost an industrial CNC.
Right.
Besides, we like the feeling of saying we made it by hand.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Austin, man. The whole cane. It would have to be one hell of a CNC to cut that out.
Yeah. Now, after this part of the process, we let it dry for, overnight. We put them in these barrels like this, while it still had clamps on them. And I have 2 barrels in the back that are completely full, plus these. And we just take them and make sure it's on there. Once we get certain steps on, hopefully I'm not bouncing around too much. Okay. Then we put a rack up here, so I have not been able to use my door very good for a few months. But a lot of times we have this thing from one end to the other completely set up, and then we have the ones in there. So on here you can see we do not have the tops of the canes on there yet.
Wow.
The handles. So that'll be our next step. Tuesday we'll be putting the handles on all these and gluing them, and then we go the boring part when we have 5 people sitting around here just hand sanding to get them all, everything in there. With the handles on, you have to really look at it after that because that's our final inspection to make sure it's right. And then we'll go by and cut them because some of them are longer than others. We'll end up cutting them so they're exactly 36 inches with the handles on them. That'll keep them all set. These are ones that are pretty much done except for we're going to put the stain on it. And we're using regular golden pecan stain. Just let it sit overnight, and then the next day I'll spray them all. I can't get to the system where we're having that, but we have a DeVilbiss and Binks pressure pot that we use for spraying. We spray the sanding sealer on it, and then I bring them back in, and we have a crew that goes out there and uses like a 320 sandpaper, smooths it out. And then we take them back out again and spray it with the lacquer. Then we just come by. After the lacquer, we're just putting mineral spirits and steel wool and just getting little bumps on that are coming up from, spraying the little odd sprays. And then we put a Johnson Space Wax on top of it just to have a smooth finish, and it cuts down so you don't smell the lacquer so much. So, and that's about all the steps. You got any questions? Because we can answer anything.
That is awesome mass production. I love that. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
You said that. I'm sorry, Russ. What about poplar?
I was just going to go back to Dennis Godson. He says, "Anybody want to try this with a spiral scroll saw blade?" I'm laughing when he posted that. I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think you're going to do that with a spiral scroll saw blade." Go ahead, Katie. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, it's just not nearly as pretty wood, but you're talking about the lighter weight ones and whatnot. Does poplar work out well for these, or is
poplar is excellent. That's a poplar there.
Yeah.
No, poplar is nice and it's a lighter wood. It's not a whole lot of difference between oak and poplar as far as the weight. You want to get it down to this amount, not carrying it as a board.
That would be the ladies' cane right there.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the reason. Not that I'm ready for a cane yet, but you never know.
What about the strength between the poplar and the oak?
I think oak is definitely stronger, but you're not looking at the thickness of this. You are not going to break this on unless you put it on a door and actually try. You're not going to break one of these.
Well, what if you're hitting somebody with it profusely? No, I'm just joking.
Well,
I'm not.
You can try it.
Al will fly up there to where you're at, and y'all can try it out to see if you can break it on.
Yes.
He'll volunteer to be a test dummy.
Volunteer for that. Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to volunteer to be the one to beat him with it.
Have y'all tried? Luana wants to know if y'all tried paste wax and would help make it more waterproof.
We put Johnson's paste wax on after we get done with the final coat of the final coat is lacquer, and then after that we put mineral spirits and steel wool just to smooth it out. Then we dry it all off and we put paste wax on. That gets rid of the smell, because you can smell lacquer for days after you put the stuff on, until it's completely dry. The last few times the weather's been bad, so when I've done the last few of them, I've actually had to do it in the garage with the door shut. And when you do like 40 or 50 at a time with the door shut in the garage, it smells great after a while.
Now I have a question, and then I'm going to back it up with a question about the glue for the logo. The patches that you use to put in there are a cloth material, correct?
Yes, they're all embroidered.
Right. Okay. So with that saying, Jeff Robinson wants to know what kind of glue you put that in with.
See, on here there's a backing on here. On some of them you can take this backing off, and if it was on clothes, you can actually heat it up with an iron and that'll stick to something, which is not going to work with this. Okay. So we are using a couple different things on some of them, because some people can mess it up really easy. I've given it to friends and my cousin and stuff. And when we did that, we just used two-sided tape to put it on. That way, when you're done, you can take it straight off. But we've been putting just Type Bond 2 or tacky glue.
Yeah, Eileen's tacky glue is my favorite. Man, that stuff sticks like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. All of them work pretty good. The woman that's actually taken... We get a few more glues out here. I got gallon jugs in there, if that helps.
Yeah. No, Eileen's tacky glue looks great on stuff like that. Chris Ahern, which has vacated us tonight, so I don't even know why I'm even talking to him. But I guess I'll go ahead and at least answer one question from him, because he couldn't be here.
Oh, there
because he's out in San Diego, California with his wife having fun. Anyway, he says, I don't see the United States Coast Guard patch. Chris, had you been on the show and earlier and listened to the whole show, they were saying that they had them now made and were able to put them on. And there's one on the screen right now. Thank you very much. So that's what you get for not being on the show in the chat or in the panel and watching the whole
Russ,
shame on you, Chris.
You got to give him this much, Russ. He's at the airport and his connection is horrible, but he's still just there, dedicatedly watching. So
I know. I'm just giving him a hard time.
Oh, Rob, just a personal thing. Thanks for not using that new Air Force logo on those patches.
You know what? I can't stand that logo.
I hate that logo.
I have two jackets.
Logo plane sucks. It cost the Air Force $1 million to do it too.
Yeah. No, that was just. I was using that other one the whole time I got in the Air Force, and then right before I got out, they switched to the other one. So I have a jacket with the old one on it, and then I have a new one with the new one on it. And down in Georgia, we honestly, this winter, we didn't really even need a jacket hardly. We did not see a snowflake down here.
Yeah, there's some in Atlanta.
We had no winter.
No, it was
Wet.
It was very wet. We had more rain than we've had in years, but it was really pretty nice.
We had a few really cold days, but the cold and the wet didn't come together, and I was kind of proud of that.
So, any more questions?
I'm trying to look over in the chat. I just posted out there in the chat. Love you, Chris. so he wouldn't think I was being like bashing him too terribly bad.
Yeah, just scanning through here. Now, when you have, a lot of times we have average somewhere between 12 and 16 people here every Tuesday. So when we get ready to go to lunch, you know, I'm sure, Russ, you understand, we went to a Mexican restaurant when we go to lunch each day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, well, there's one that we go to that has a buffet.
Yeah, we
get whatever you want on there, and it's $7.41 a day. So
nice.
You know, because everybody that volunteers to come here, they spend their own gas. Should I get the camera back? I dropped it. Okay. They spend their own gas. They buy their own meals, you know, and all that stuff. So I really appreciate the people that we have here working. And some of them come over at 8 o'clock at night from their house over here just so we can talk over here and show you what we do.
And you know what? I just want to say thank you to you guys. Now, a couple of you guys, I saw you at the woodworking show, and I can't remember your names.
No, I'm Walt Walters.
Yep.
Buzz.
I remember Buzz, and so I remember seeing y'all, and I do appreciate you coming back tonight and doing this because, you know, my main and when I talked to Rob about doing this, is not only to show off what y'all do and the making of the canes, which is actually fantastic, but is try to generate some moolah for y'all guys to get people out there that are watching. We have over 40, like high as 58 people watching, but over 40 people watching right now.
I followed out the job. I just posted the URL. Oh my gosh. Yes, Russ, I'll do it every 15 minutes.
Yeah, and to try to get some help to see if we can get some money generated for y'all guys to help y'all out on this project.
Puppy.
Yeah, that's Rex.
Yeah, Rex and Dusty.
Yeah, Rex and Dusty.
Rex,
that's
my ex is a NAM vet, and I'm going to be giving him the link to this show and the link to the GoFundMe, and so he can spread it around to his old buddies and see if we can't get y'all some support from that direction as well.
That was not only that it would make a great show as far as being able to show what these guys do, which I think that my hat's off to y'all guys. And I've seen this, and I just want to say that y'all are like number one, the Gwinnett Woodworkers, for doing this for the veterans. I personally want to say thank you. And I'm not a veteran. I was a firefighter for 30 years. I chose civil service, but I just want to say thank you for what y'all do and your kind of not only of time, but I know some of y'all kick in some money to help out with this thing. So just to say,
one of the best things that's about this though is when we have like 18 people here, about 15 of those are veterans. Now, you know, it was just by chance because you don't have to be a veteran to do this. We do have people that don't. But out of here tonight, you know, the guy in the green shirt, that was a Marine. He was Air Force. I was Air Force.
Navy.
Navy. I'm sorry. Yeah, no,
He should be.
He should be. He wanted to be Air Force. And then Buzz was heavy equipment operator. And they're all a little older than me, so a lot of the combat engineer, yes. All of them a little older than me, so quite a few of them have been in Vietnam, where I was Air Force, so I had to spend most of my time at the golf course, according to these people.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I spent 3 years in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's good.
Rough duty.
So, anyway, well, anybody got any more questions? Anything we can answer? We
what city is Gwinnett in?
Lawrenceville, Georgia.
I think somebody out there asked it.
I see that JP Woodworking said, have you ever thought about contacting FedEx or UPS and asking if they could help you out on shipping for the veterans?
You know what? We could do that. That's a good idea. I'll write it down and find out from I just went to one of these shipping places that do, overall different ones. And I showed him the size and everything. He told me it would cost me about $35 to ship it.
Yeah. Because I do know without a shadow of a doubt, it comes down to not only the weight of the package, but the size of the package also determines what's going to go in on shipping.
Wow. Ossiman's asking for a shop confession.
A shop confession?
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody want to do a wood shop confession?
We've had a lot of people mess something up here, and we've made a lot of projects that we had to redo, but I'm not sure about an actual confession. We make so many mistakes, we didn't want to write them down. But, everything in the shop, I don't make furniture. I have some talented friends that do. Everything in this shop was made from, people here. The only thing was the chairs we're sitting on, because they roll around and they're really comfortable. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Oh,
But we did actually have a class on making chairs, and we made 6 straight back chairs and didn't really like them. So we made one, completed it out, and the rest of them we put in a box and a Rubbermaid tote out there. Never did finish putting them together. They're just not as comfortable as these, little recliner ones that we have out here. So.
Yeah, those look very much
I set off the saw stop one.
very comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buzz's confession was he set off the saw stop once.
Oh,
we'd have to get over 6 more people here to do their confessions because we've set it off 7 times.
Yeah.
7 times? Wow.
Yeah. We're talented that way. Let me see if I can.
So can you buy those brakes by the case, or you have to get them?
No, and I heard the price just went up on them.
Oh my goodness.
Of course it did.
Here. This is our wall of shame.
That's great.
Over to the left. Yeah, the bottom one was Buzz.
Yeah.
Is that his nickname now, or was it just?
That was our first one we did.
Oh, and it's got a clock on it. Excellent. That's great.
Yeah, well, actually, the wall had all to do with military stuff. We have friends.
Hey,
that
where's
cut
my
these out.
clock? Where's my clock I gave you?
It's in the
house. It's in the house.
Oh yeah. It's hanging over the bed so I can see it each night.
It's in the outhouse.
Oh, okay. Tell me the truth. Where is it really at?
It's in the outhouse.
Okay, grab the clock on top of the drinks there.
What the hell? I gave you a clock and you don't even use it?
Quick, go in the dumpster and get that box out of there.
Quick, go in the dumpster. Who said that?
Damn, I swear. I see the love in this.
There it is.
Time to make sawdust.
There it is.
It's got dust all over it. What did the time?
Yeah. Well, the reason it was in there was the day we put all the stuff together when you were here, and the clock didn't work out a little bit. It never did work. So I have to get a clock mechanism, and you can see how far I got in the last year.
Yeah. No, the day I brought it there and we assembled it. And the day I assembled all 3. I had 3 of them that day. Steve Good got one, you got one, and I think Carl Taylor got one. But anyway, the day we assembled it, Rob's worked real good, but he told me about 2 or 3 days later, he said, you know what? About an hour after you left, the damn thing quit working.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it did.
So well,
we're just
that's Bearwood Supplies clock mechanisms. They're my sponsors. I'm gonna have to call them and raise Cain.
Oh no. I hope these don't turn out that way.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Chew on that.
All right. Well, any more questions out in the anyway, if you want to know what that clock really looks like, it's like the one back here, and guess what? That one quit working too because I haven't put a battery in it. I looked at it the other day. I'm like, because they usually tell the time on that clock, and I went like, damn, it quit working. I looked at it, the battery's gone bad. I got to replace the battery in it. But his clock looks exactly like that one right there. Oh.
Minus the sawdust.
Yeah, well, that one, I've had that one for a couple of years. That's the first battery since I made it, it's the first battery I'm going to have to put in it. So
Well, I was thinking they probably just weren't lasting that long.
Yeah, I don't think it was the battery. I think that one was a bad one because remember when we first put it together, I had to thump it 2 or 3 times for it to actually start working.
Yeah, I put different batteries in it and it didn't work. It just came to life.
We put it together. We actually put it together, and we put a battery in. And sometimes you can roll the battery in it if it's not got a good connection. I had to thump real hard on the back of the clock case, and all of a sudden it started working. I'm like, all right, this took off. It just had a little stick or something in it. So, well, guys, let me tell you once again. I just want to say thank you to all y'all who were there tonight and Rob's shop and for participating in this. And I really do hope that we can generate y'all some funds to help y'all keep going, because this is a worthy project if you want to donate something to it. We've been doing pretty good tonight. We've had up to 58 people watching, 40 watching right now, and 33 thumbs up. So 7 of you out there of the 40 are slackers. You haven't given me a thumbs up yet. So I really would appreciate you go ahead and popping in those last 7 thumbs up. You don't know how much I appreciate it. Do we have anything anybody on the panel wants to ask before we cut out of here?
Hey, I'd just like to say thank you to you guys. I am a veteran, and I know that you guys are too. But you know, you don't have to do all this, and I think it's just amazing. So thank you.
This is you.
I second that.
So we can see them.
I third that.
I fourth it.
All right.
I forte it.
That was pretty good. Yeah,
Matt,
thank you.
Your octopus is done.
So I appreciate it very much. All right. Well,
I appreciate you asking us to be here. We enjoyed it.
Yes, I am going to. Dave Hart said, I'm going to put the link for the fundraising in not only the description of this video, but I'm going to put it in the comments so that even if you don't go to the description and look through the description, you'll see it in the comments also to try
to the top
also.
Good idea, Russ.
Yeah. So I mean, because some people, it'll show the comments for a little bit and it'll say show more. They'll never click on that show more to see where the link is. So I'll put it in the comments section also. So Dave Hart says, great show. Thank you, Dave Hart. I appreciate it. Don't thank me. Thank Rob and them because they did the show. I was just sitting here monitoring it, and they did a very good job. So
they did fantastic. Man.
Chris Ahern said it was okay even without me. Ha 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 ha. The only thing we're going to miss out of you, Chris, is at the end when you say you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
I was going to say that in his place, by God. Now you're
right. You take it over, Russ. You can have that part tonight. Yeah, you can take it over and say that tonight. All right, guys. Thank you so very much. And once again, thank you, Rob, and all of you that are there tonight to do this. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you to all y'all out in the chat. Chris Nealon, Liberty Woodworking, Dave Hart, Chris Ahern, he was out actually only in the chat tonight, not on the panel. Luana Pierce, Dennis Goodson. I mean, I always call him Goodson. Aussie Man, Jimbo, him and I Woodworking, Tom Spillane, Liberty Woodworking, just to mention a few who have been out there in the chat, and I appreciate you all so very much. There's only one thing that we need to do to finish all this.
There we go.
Yep. Hey, you guys that are in the Gwinnett Woodworkers, you need to gather around the speakers real close and listen, because I do this on every show. You don't want to miss this, though. And that is, just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust, all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Thank you very much for watching.
Bye,
Good night,
all.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night,
God
y'all.
bless.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you so very much.
Russ?
Remember, you don't have to go home, but you cannot stay here.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Good night.